Hey there, fellow Mayo lovers, welcome back to Mayo Daily. Today, we're taking a stroll through the bustling streets of the Big Apple to dive into the intriguing world of the New York City Police Commissioner. Now, I know what you're thinking, a city that never sleeps needs some pretty serious snooze control, right? Picture this, the New York City Police Commissioner is like the superhero of the concrete jungle, fighting crime and keeping the chaos in check. I mean, is it just me, or does that title sound like they're in charge of a real-life Avengers squad? Commissioner, assemble! You know, being the top dog in the NYPD is no small feat. It's like managing a giant game of cops and robbers, except the robbers have access to Uber and the cops are armed with a notepad and pen. And let's be honest, with all those donut shops around, they've got to have an extra layer of protection against those sneaky sprinkles. But hey, being a New York City Police Commissioner isn't all about chasing down crooks and solving mysteries. They've got their hands full with other tasks too, like directing traffic in Times Square. Seriously, if you can handle taxi drivers during rush hour, you can probably negotiate world peace. And let's not forget about those adorable NYPD horses. Do you think the commissioner has to go through an equestrian training module for that? In a city where anything can happen, you've got to have a sense of humor to survive. I bet the commissioner's office is filled with some epic dad jokes to lighten the mood. Why did the criminal break up with the sidewalk? Because he thought it was too concrete. Cue the laughter track. And speaking of jokes, ever wonder if the commissioner has a secret hotline to Spider-Man? I mean, it's New York, skyscrapers, spandex, and sensational headlines practically go hand in hand. Plus, I bet they've got the best collection of crime-fighting capes in their closet. So, whether they're dealing with a misplaced hot dog cart or coordinating a citywide parade, the New York City Police Commissioner is the ultimate multitasker. They're like a mix between a traffic conductor, a detective, and a professional juggler, trying to keep all those balls, or should I say bagels, in the air. Now, let's talk about the commissioner's uniform. Picture this, they're basically the real-life embodiment of a superhero costume. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a secret closet filled with an array of capes, just waiting to swoop in and save the day. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's the commissioner. And you know, in a city as diverse as New York, the commissioner's job involves a little bit of everything. From mediating pizza debates between New Yorkers, thin crust or thick crust? The eternal battle. To ensuring that squirrels obey traffic signals in Central Park, they truly have their hands full. Maybe they secretly moonlight as a squirrel whisperer, who knew? But let's not forget their impeccable detective skills. I can just imagine them Sherlock Holmes-ing their way through the city, magnifying glass in one hand and a bagel in the other. Elementary, my dear New Yorkers, the cream cheese smudge on this evidence points us straight to the perpetrator. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the commissioner's ability to navigate through New York's traffic. I mean, getting around Times Square during rush hour is like trying to find the mayo in a busy deli. It's there somewhere, you just need to have the patience and determination to uncover it. And speaking of mayo, I wonder if the commissioner has a special secret condiment they use for negotiations. Imagine them diffusing a tense situation with, "Hold on, folks. Before we proceed, could we all just agree on whether mayo should be spread or drizzled?" Instant harmony, I tell you. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the horse in the parade? Yes, those majestic NYPD horses are the commissioner's four-legged partners in crime fighting. I bet they're the real brains behind the operation, whispering tips like, "Psst, Commissioner, I heard this suspect loves apples. Let's lure them in." In a city that's always awake and buzzing, the New York City Police Commissioner is the guardian of the nocturnal, like a watchful owl perched atop a skyscraper, scanning the city for any hint of mischief. They're the real MVPs, keeping the chaos in check and making sure that every New Yorker can enjoy their bagels in peace. Now, let's talk about the commissioner's command center. I envision it as a mix between a high-tech control room and a classic New York deli. You've got your crime maps on one wall, a bagel bar on the other, and a hotline to the pizza joint down the street just in case a late-night craving strikes. It's like the ultimate crime-fighting hub, with a side of cream cheese. And can we take a moment to appreciate their dedication to community outreach? I can imagine them hosting Crime Prevention 101 seminars, complete with PowerPoint presentations and a live demonstration on how to parallel park in the tightest of spaces. You know you've made it in life when you can do a 3-point turn on a dime in the middle of rush hour traffic. But let's not forget about the commissioner's sartorial choices. I bet they've got a closet filled with an impressive array of must-have law enforcement accessories. From aviator sunglasses that scream "I mean business" to a tie with a subtle donut print, their fashion game is on point. And let's not overlook the tactical utility of a well-placed mayo stain. It's the ultimate power move. Now, let's delve into the commissioner's unique problem-solving techniques. In a city as diverse as New York, they've got to be prepared for anything. From settling turf wars over the best hot dog vendor spot to mediating heated debates on whether to call it soda or pop, they're the ultimate peacemakers. And if all else fails, a well-timed knock-knock joke can do wonders. And speaking of jokes, rumor has it that the commissioner's office is equipped with an emergency laughter button. Whenever things get a little too intense, they hit that button, and boom, instant hilarity. It's like their secret weapon against the city's woes. Why did the criminal cross the road? To get away from the commissioner's jokes, of course. Now, let's address the commissioner's dynamic relationship with the NYPD's furry partners. Those K9 units aren't just colleagues, they're family. I can totally picture the commissioner and their trusty police dog, Biscuit, teaming up to solve crimes and share a donut or two. It's a bond stronger than the stickiness of peanut butter on a slice of bread. In a city that's constantly buzzing with activity, the New York City Police Commissioner is the mayo that holds it all together, smooth, creamy, and indispensable. So, whether they're directing traffic, cracking down on crime, or perfecting their mayo-based crime-fighting condiments, one thing's for sure, they're the true champions of the concrete jungle. Now, let's talk about the commissioner's legendary negotiation skills. They've probably mastered the art of resolving conflicts faster than a New Yorker can hail a cab in the rain. I can just imagine them mediating a heated argument between two street vendors over the last pretzel with a calm and collected, "Alright, folks, let's not fight over crumbs. There are plenty of bagels in the sea." And speaking of bagels, let's not forget about their commitment to culinary diplomacy. The commissioner's ability to enjoy a classic New York slice of pizza with both pineapple and anchovies without flinching is a true testament to their dedication to unity, even if it's one slice at a time. But let's get back to their crime-fighting techniques. I've heard they've developed a top-secret device called the Bagel Blaster 3000, which shoots cream cheese foam at fleeing criminals. It's the perfect way to ensure that even the bad guys get a taste of New York's finest. And who could forget their signature move, the donut dive, where they leap over obstacles with a freshly glazed treat in hand, ready to serve up justice. Now, let's not underestimate the commissioner's ability to adapt to any situation. From navigating through crowded subway stations during rush hour to keeping a straight face while chasing after a suspect who just swiped a hot dog from a vendor, they've got it all under control. It's like a real-life game of Grand Theft Auto, but with more condiments. And can we take a moment to appreciate their rapport with the citizens? I bet they've got a personalized handshake for every street performer, a secret dance move for the breakdancers, and an entire notebook filled with puns to entertain the tourists. Why did the pigeon get arrested? Because it was caught feather-handed. Now, let's not forget about the commissioner's fashion-forward approach to law enforcement. I hear they've single-handedly revived the trend of wearing aviator sunglasses at night. After all, who needs sleep when you can look this cool? And their accessory game is on point, from a utility belt loaded with condiment packets to a badge that doubles as a bottle opener. They're always prepared for any situation. Now, let's talk about the commissioner's unique approach to crowd control. Have you ever seen them expertly directing pedestrians during a bustling New York parade? It's like watching a maestro conduct a symphony, except the notes are replaced with traffic signals, and the orchestra consists of honking taxis and chattering squirrels. Bravo! And speaking of squirrels, rumor has it that the commissioner's secret to effective interrogation is a well-placed bag of nuts. You know you're in trouble when they bring out the almonds instead of the handcuffs. Talk, or you'll be snacking on sunflower seeds for the next week. But let's not forget their connection to the city's finest four-legged officers. The commissioner and their trusty police pooch, Fido, are inseparable. They're like Batman and Robin, if Batman had a habit of trading crime-fighting tips for belly rubs. And Fido's special trick? Detecting hidden mayo stashes. Now that's a talent. Now, let's talk about the commissioner's legendary speeches. I bet they've got a knack for inspiring the masses with lines like, "New Yorkers, just like Mayo, we're here to add that extra zing to life and ensure that the sandwich of justice is never bland." It's like a motivational seminar, but with more hot dog metaphors. And can we take a moment to appreciate their expert knowledge of New York's quirks and nuances? From deciphering the secret code of subway graffiti to knowing exactly where to find the best slice of cheesecake, they're the ultimate tour guide to the city that never sleeps, or stops craving mayo. Now, let's not forget their uncanny ability to spot a crime a mile away. They've got the instincts of a hawk, the intuition of a fortune teller, and the taste buds of a condiment connoisseur. I sense a disturbance in the deli aisle, someone's been messing with the mustard. And in a city known for its diverse cultural celebrations, the commissioner is the ultimate party planner. I can just imagine them orchestrating a New Year's Eve extravaganza complete with confetti cannons, salsa dancing officers, and a fireworks display that spells out NYC heartsuit mayo in the night sky. Now, let's talk about the commissioner's legendary disguises. I've heard they've been known to don a hot dog vendor apron one minute and a pigeon costume the next, all in the name of undercover work. Imagine the surprise on a criminal's face when they realize they've been outsmarted by a condiment-clad detective. And speaking of undercover operations, rumor has it that the commissioner's ability to blend into any New York neighborhood is unparalleled. From Harlem to Chinatown, they can seamlessly shift from speaking Brooklyn to Bronx with the flick of a mustard-covered wrist. It's like they've got a PhD in New York accents. But let's not overlook their talent for solving the city's quirkiest mysteries. I bet they're the only detective who can crack a case involving missing subway socks and track down the culprit who's been swiping bagels from unsuspecting breakfast goers. It's a tough job, but someone's got to keep the streets safe for all things carb-related. And speaking of carbs, let's talk about the commissioner's donut diplomacy approach. They're like a modern-day diplomat, brokering peace deals over glazed pastries and coffee. Gentlemen, I propose we settle this dispute over parking rights with a jelly-filled compromise. It's a proven method, who can resist the power of sprinkles? Now, let's address their uncanny ability to predict crime trends. It's like they've got a crystal ball made out of bagel dough. I foresee a rise in jaywalking incidents this weekend, followed by an uptick in cream cheese thefts, mark my words. Move over Nostradamus, the commissioner is here to predict the deli future. But let's not forget their prowess in handling delicate situations. They're like a mayo-coated counselor, soothing angry street performers with a heartfelt rendition of New York, New York on their trusty kazoo. And when all else fails, they can break out their secret weapon, the mayor of Mayo, a giant inflatable condiment bottle that's sure to diffuse any tension. So there you have it, my mayo-loving comrades, the New York City Police Commissioner, a crime-solving sensation with a side of hilarity and a dollop of mayo madness. Until next time, stay mayo-nificent, keep those spirits soaring higher than the Statue of Liberty's torch, and remember, whether you're chasing down criminals or chasing your dreams, a little extra mayo can make life so savory. This is Mayo Daily, signing off from the city where the mayo flows as freely as the witty one-liners.